Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You got Wayne, and you kind of sort of have Tim. But hey, I give it to him. I give him credit. He is on here, even if it is partially. So the Sixers on the roll. The Sixers on the roll. Listen, man, this was a big one in my opinion. Because scenarios, I agree. Harden, you know what's funny? Harden shot hard. But I think he was like what 1 for 6. I
Yeah,
look it
one
up
for
and see.
six. Yep.
It 1 for 6 with only 6 points, but it still seemed like he had control. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a floor general tonight. Maxey did what we need. Maxey do. Toby stepped up big, and Embiid was Embiid, and the Sixers defense stepped up. Um, I got to give Niang a little bit of a shout out too. I actually think Doc could have left Niang in there for a little bit. During the the stretch, and he ended up bringing PJ Tucker back in. But Niang was actually playing solid defense. He was hitting them open shots. He was boxing out on the boards. It's a beautiful thing. 3-0 on this road trip right now. We just got 2 more games to go. And tonight, when we look at it, you say Toby got. Yeah, honestly, I do got to give Toby a shout out too. Toby plays solid defense. Kawhi is Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? But Paul George was held in check tonight. He out in foul trouble too. But Tobias was attacking. Tobias was aggressive. He was playing solid defense, and I do agree that he did get, he did get the some kind of off calls. But I agree, X-Man. Maxey and Niang both did do their thing. And Marston, it was a great win. I listen, I don't know how I think Tim was about to fall asleep during the game. I was tuned in. It was exciting. The game was like it was a 1-point game going into the fourth, wasn't it? 1 or 2 point game.
Yep.
It was tight. It was tight. And the Sixers brought it home. Maxey did go off in the fourth. Embiid, it's almost like whenever Embiid wanted to do something, he did it, and they really had no answer for him. And even like I said, James Harden seemed like he just was a floor general. Like this is some of the things, and this is why I say when we talk about the depth of our team, when you have Tobias Harris as your 4th best player, and Maxey playing how Maxey plays, like you can get a game where Harden is off, and they still can make it. Honestly, depending on who the matchup is, you might even have a game where Embiid is off and the team can still win just because you have enough firepower on the team, especially if Niang balling. And so what did everybody think about? What did everybody think about this Maxey off the bench thing? He had 22 points coming off that bench. Maxey had the best plus minus on the team. He was a plus 22. Plus 22. Let me see what everybody. I was looking at it before we came on here.
Ephraim, you gonna let me get it?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you was joining or not.
Yeah.
I know you laying down and got your video off, but you go right here. Go ahead.
Yeah, good. All right. First of all, I'm gonna give everybody a shout out that's on the pod with us tonight. I mean, we got Sergeant Bass, MOTC, our regulars, X-Men, Steve. I know Steve, you saying, can I join your pod? We're gonna let y'all come on probably in the playoffs. We're gonna let people come on, and we want to hear from y'all. But these greedy boys always want to hog up the podcast. But yeah, we're gonna have y'all come on the playoff time. We're gonna be taking calls and everything. We're gonna do the whole 9. But this game was good. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. First half, I get Tobias's credit. Even though Embiid was balling in the first half, Toby was his back. He was his Robin. Toby, I think he had 14 points in the first half. He was balling because, like you said, Harden was off a little bit. He still controlled the game, which a lot of people ain't real basketball fans. They don't understand that you need that floor general. Because to be honest with you, that's kind of what the Clippers are missing. They're missing that real floor general. Can you imagine if Harden was on the Clippers right now?
They got John Wall on the bench. They don't want to play him.
He hurt. I think they said he was
Yeah,
hurt.
now, but was they even playing him when he wasn't hurt though?
I know they said they're looking to trade him. They're actually looking to trade him right now.
Right.
But Harden on the Clippers would be awesome. But he with us, And he got us moving. Look at Embiid. Come on, Embiid is scoring so easily. The game is so easy, and that's because he's like at least 15 points is coming directly from Harden, just easy assists. So I mean, even though he well, he had like 20 something points, 24, 26 points in the first half. And it's crazy because Harden, he missed like a couple bunnies that Harden was setting him up. Harden was setting him up for layups. And he was like, but I gotta say that this was an impressive win. The fact that Embiid was able to show that he is the best center in the league. I think he got something to prove too. He a little mad at Jokic right now. He mad at the ball. Well,
I mean, Jokic, it ain't Jokic's fault. Jokic doing what he's supposed to do. But see, now this is my thing. I'm not going to throw no
stop
shade at
hating.
Jokic.
Stop hating.
I'm not going to throw shade at Jokic. Jokic does what he do. But when Embiid goes up, when they go head to head, Jokic is no match for Joel Embiid. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to give them, all that credit or whatever, Jokic, the more complete offensive player, whatever else. Do you see the blocks that Embiid get? That one in I think in the first half, near the end of the first half, where he ran it down and got the block.
That was nice.
And then the other one and toward the end of the game, toward the end of the game in the fourth quarter, that he ran down, got where they had to challenge it because they was trying to say he fouled. Even with how when Paul George was going to the basket and B played good enough defense where George just missed, and they tried to call a foul on him, but then they looked at it like they didn't touch him.
Yep.
So, and shout out to Toby's defense. Toby stat line tonight. Toby had 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals.
That was nice.
He was balling.
That's I gave him his props. I say he played. He was a good Robin tonight.
We had 11 steals as a team, but I think that goes a credit to what you said about them not having a point guard for real with the Clippers. So,
because they got the skill set. I mean, even Kawhi is not still Kawhi, but he's still that boy. He's still that dude. I do believe he would be a better factor if he had like a nice point guard on his team, like a Kyle Lowry or somebody.
But Kawhi likes to handle the ball a lot too, though. See that's kind of difficult because I think Kawhi and Paul George both like to handle the rock a lot. So I guess that's why, because Rondo was there, right?
Yeah.
Was Rondo? Yeah, I see. He's kind of like the kind of point guard they need, somebody who don't need to shoot or something like that. That's just like a setup man. But even with that, they like to handle the rock light. So you might need just somebody that really a spot up shooter at the point guard. Somebody like Seth Curry out there.
Yep. This was a nice win. I mean, Embiid defensively, the thing is he got a complete game going on right now. He's our best two-way. He's probably the best two-way player in the game, to be honest with you. If you think about the best two-way player in the league right now, who you think is better than Joel right now? Because I don't see nobody. Two-way player. As great as they are offensively,
I mean, I'd be hard pressed to think about it. You know what? And to that point, Shaq is such a hater, boy.
Yes,
and Shaq, one of my favorite players of all time, but he is such a hater. How you sitting up there trying to hate on Embiid that he like, oh, he wasn't dominant. I don't call that dominant. He dropped 25 in the first half. What's dominant, Shaq? My man hitting threes. He hitting fadeaway. He bringing the ball, but he blocking shots. What's dominant? He hitting free throws. What's dominant, Shaq?
Because he didn't get all his he didn't get all his points in the paint. That's why he was mad.
Stop hating. Like Shaq got sometimes these old heads, and I'm an old head. Sometimes these old heads gotta go ahead with that, bro. Like, this ain't your NBA. This is not your NBA.
This ain't your father's NBA. It's
exactly. Yup. So, but what up? Nah, non-conformist. I think before they blow this team up, they'll bring in another coach. Well, first of all, if they don't make it past the second round, Harden might be out. But if you keeping it, what do you mean blow it up? I mean, for real, who all's, as long as you keep Harden and Maxey, I don't think that's really necessary blowing it up. You retooling. Blowing it up, in my opinion, means that you're getting rid of blowing it up means that you're getting rid of Joel and Maxey. Come on, man. How we must be popping tonight. We got the daggone bots in here again. Clean that up, too.
Right now, that second unit that we have is a whole different team. that's coming out there and giving us some energy. I mean, that's what makes the Sixers so unique now is that we got two. The best thing that decision to go to put Maxey on the bench, which I said we should do, is everybody was laughing. Especially, I think who was it that was laughing? I think it was Ephraim or one of them. Like he shouldn't be benched. I'm like, it's not about being benched. It's just like he just plays better with the second. If him playing with the second unit, it allows James Harden and Embiid to continue growing together and playing at slower pace, that half court pace. And then when you want that switch up, Maxey come in and he just flying up and down the court and everything. He gave you 22 points. Like you said, his plus minus was off the chain today.
Yep. And guess what? Who was second in plus minus was Niang. Niang was at 18 plus minus. Yeah. Milton off the bench, 11 plus minus. Harrell plus 10. You know, the only dudes that was minus was Melton. Melton. But see, Melton plays that defense and everything else. He only ran 20 minutes tonight. Yeah. But see, that's the other thing. Melton only ran 20 minutes. Maxey had 26. But your other boy was the only other plus. The other boy was the only other minus.
Maxey was impressive, though.
Who do you think was the only other minus? Huh?
Who was it, Tucker?
Yeah, of course. He is a -3.
Yeah.
But it's hard to argue with those. Yeah. It's hard to argue with Doc keeping them in there because they're winning right now. But oh my God, it's painful. And now tonight actually was one of his better nights, like playing a little bit more aggressive, a little physical. This team allowed him to be like that. Like on different times, he would be matched up on like Paul George or on Kawhi. But we won though. We won. Yeah. And guess what? Some of the team, the Nets lost tonight. Let me look and see who else lost. I know there's a couple teams was in action tonight. The Nets lost to the Spurs, and the Bucks pulled it out against Toronto.
Yeah, I had my eye on that team, but we're in the third spot right now. We 28-16. We 4.5 games out of the first. It's gonna be hard to catch Boston, but guess what? I think we got like 2 or 3 more games against Boston. So if we just beat them when we play them, we got a shot to get that #1 seed. I ain't scared of nobody right now. To be honest with you,
yeah,
I'm good.
I got Milwaukee only half game ahead of us. So I mean, the way that they playing right now, and this is what I was sitting here and I was saying, you know, where a lot of people was getting worried about with certain stuff. Oh, we like let the team gel. And remember, I was saying this before they came on this road trip. A lot of times on these road trips, you can get that you know what I'm saying, it could be a bonding experience. So Maxey definitely did play some defense tonight too.
With our McCoy, I agree with you, Maxey. Boy, he played a little defense tonight.
Yeah.
He's still the fact that he's still light in the pants there. He only like 200 pounds, 6'2". So but for what he do, he's getting better. I think he's making an effort, a concerted effort at least to get better on defense. So I
hope at some point the Sixers can buy PG contract out, like some kind of way, like the last 2 years, like all right, you know what I mean, we just gonna give him the money, just take half of that off the books for the what's the name on the salary cap, because that contract is a hurt piece. I agree.
So they put Kawhi on Maxey. That was telling and respect. That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, this was a good quality win, man. This road trip, and guess what? Harden had a bad night. Put it this way: he had a bad shooting night. He had a solid. His game was okay tonight, but you should expect this. He's been in LA for like what, 3 nights now. I'm sure some happy strippers up there that made a couple dollars this weekend.
Yeah, yo, non-conformist. You said Embiid is one of your favorite players, but the media is going to blame him if we don't get out the second round of playoffs. Yep, I'll be one of them because we gave you 14 different teams, so you got to get out. You got to. I'm sorry.
Toby's not a free agent yet, non-conformist. He's not a free agent. He got 1 more year under the contract. He got this year and next year under contract. Trust me, everybody been in here counting that contract down.
I know. We all up with that joint.
But okay. But what if when that contract comes, Toby ready to take a pay cut and stay with the team? Are you keeping him?
Man, I need athleticism at that position. We need to get athletic at that position. I think that's the only thing. If something holds us back, that's gonna be what's gonna hold us back. Because right now, the hottest team in the league is Memphis, and the hottest team in Atlanta in the East is Boston. And both of them got strong wing players, and then you
Charlie Young. Oh, my fault. What were you saying?
and the combat wings, and just to be able to not even to stop them, but to be able to at least to D them up, you got to have athletic wings, and we don't have that. So
I mean, he did a pretty good job tonight on their wings.
well, who's that wing player? Like Kawhi?
Kawhi and Paul George.
Never, it was okay. I'm talking about a long term series. I want to see what he do. Kawhi disappeared. I mean, not Kawhi, but Toby will give you a 4-point game in the series in a heartbeat.
Hey, did I say man was the better Maxey? Who said man was the better Maxey? Was that something I said?
Now I think people just compared them both because they both was young under Doc and they both had. See, and it's just one game. It's just one game, but man played well. Man, I seen him get hot. Don't act like I didn't see Terrence Mann get like go off on players before. He's done that.
Yeah, but and see, like I said, man, I honestly I like the direction the team is heading in. But this if we're keeping it a beam, and this is why I thought when we started this trip, I said I could see the Sixers going undefeated, but I thought 4-1 was realistic. You know what I'm saying? And I said I would be happy with 3-2. Well, I'm already happy with whatever, even though it's a little bit different if you lose the 2 after winning the 3.
Yeah,
but but these teams wasn't great teams. Even Portland is not a great team. I think most of the time we're saying the toughest one is probably going to be Sacramento.
You think Sacramento be more challenging
than
Portland?
Portland smoking mirrors in my opinion. I got
Portland. All right, I like the young bull. What's the young bull shooting?
You don't even know his name. You talking about Simons?
Yeah, Simons. I think Anthony Simons is pretty good. Then you got Dame, and then they picked up somebody too. They trade.
You talking about Jeremy Grant?
Yeah, they got Jeremy Grant. They got a nice wing player. So I mean, they got a nice little roster. I ain't going.
But they got Jokic at the center, and he has nothing for Embiid.
No, nobody got nothing for Embiid right now.
I mean, at one point in time, people were telling me how Anthony Davis should shut Embiid down, but when Davis came here early in the season, Embiid gave him the business. It's funny, ain't always talking about how somebody's going to stop Embiid and this, that, and other. Embiid looks like he's on a mission this year. I'm going to tell you, he looks like
Anthony Davis still balled out against us, though. Don't get it twisted. Like he
Embiid gave him the business.
Anthony Davis had like 20 in the second half. He was balling.
Yeah. We just let him get what he's going to get because we was handling him.
Here we go.
And after that, he blew his foot out.
Yeah, he got hurt. I like
that. But I mean, Embiid does have to stay healthy, and until he does that's a fair assessment. It is fair for people to say about his health issues. But I mean, you guys say the same thing about Kawhi and some of these other guys too. That being said, I think to me it looks like Embiid is more dialed in this year. Like you don't hear any talk of MVP talk, and this is where I think the PJ bringing in the PJ Tuckers and the Harrells helped them, because you bringing in OGs and even Mac and even Harden to an extent. It's like you bringing in OGs that's like, yo, listen, let's focus on getting this ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? That was just shot out the window. We now let's focus in. And B looks like he's more focused. To me, he doesn't cry as much for calls and everything else. He looked like he got a certain swag and a confidence to him, whereas though he looks like a superstar now, not like somebody he looks like somebody that knows he's that superstar now, or knows he's a superstar, not like somebody that's trying to beg for respect.
Yep. And at the same time, I'm telling you, what I like is like we have 3 players. We got 4 players that got the green light to shoot whenever they want to shoot. And then, but the thing is, now we mix them, and they're not all playing at the exact same time together. You'll have Maxey and Tobias on that second team. that they playing off each other. And they shoot whenever they want to. Then you got Harden and B starting the game off, shoot whenever they want to. We got the perfect mix because you got 4 people. Doc said, okay, everybody else, y'all got roles on a team. These 4 players, they got the green light to take any shot they want to take when they want to take it. The problem is you had all 4 of them playing at the exact same time. Staggering them throughout the game is making this team look so much better. Now we're looking like a team that's formidable that can pretty much compete with anybody in the East and the NBA.
I agree, and we've very rarely seen this team playing together so far. So, and this I agree with wholeheartedly. Oh no, I ain't mean Mastercraft. You my man, but that ain't what I was looking to mark. This thing slid up on me. Scenarios. Where you at? Where you at? I agree. And remember this, and I think because Harden, like when we talk about Embiid getting wore down and getting injured and everything else, Embiid doesn't have to work as hard for his baskets, his points. Like, remember all the times, like sometimes, we'll sit here and people get upset because he handling the ball too much, he drilling too much, he doing this, that, and other. He don't really have to do that as much. Now you run that pick and roll, you have a point guard that actually gives you the ball in the spot you need, whereas like B just easy catch and shoot. And if you step out there too far, he goes right by you. Harden is playing like a perfect floor general. And then when you get those games where he can score and he show you what he has been throughout his career, that's the cream on top. You know what I'm saying? And this is the Harden that I was expecting that we would get last year before the trade deadline.
Yeah. So TNT, they were saying that the Sixers have played the easiest strength of schedule thus far in the NBA. So they said, but they said we'll have one of the toughest schedules, like pretty much in the next few weeks to the end of the year. So I mean, then they made a point. They said, "Where do you think we're gonna end up? Like, how do you feel we're gonna end up? Because now the games are gonna get tough. The competition gonna get better. We're gonna be playing them Boston's a lot and the Bucks and Brooklyn, like all our competitors. We're gonna be.
Didn't we beat the Bucks?
No, I think we lost to the Bucks.
We lost to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Right. This is my take on that. All right. So when they saying strength of schedule, they're talking about like what the team record is when they play them.
Yeah.
Or they talking about what the team's record is for the whole season. Because that's what I thought, Mastercraft. We did beat the Bucks this year. We beat the Bucks early. We lost to Boston, I know, in the home opener. So like who is it? Who is it that Cleveland? Did we lose to Cleveland? We might not have beat Cleveland.
We just beat Cleveland. I think we split with them.
Yeah, so I see this would get me with the pundits, but then they'll be real quick to hype up Joker and all them. Like even if they lose to a certain team, you wasn't when this road trip was set up. Wasn't nobody when the way Utah started the season off, and the Lakers and all, wasn't nobody thinking this was going to be such an easy sweep. You got to go to LA and the Lakers and Portland. Wasn't nobody thinking? Everybody was thinking that Sacramento was going to be the cakewalk team on this schedule. We beating the teams that was up there winning. Didn't we beat? I think we beat Phoenix, didn't we?
Phoenix ain't Phoenix.
So then who was the teams that we got to beat then? Who was the teams that they saying that we didn't beat that we got to beat?
I mean, just the upcoming schedule. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's like the next 40, like we halfway through the season. Now we're gonna be playing teams that have a really good record.
But if we beat the Nets, then it's gonna be like, well, KD not there. Like only team we ain't really beat was we ain't beat what's her name?
We beat Memphis. I think Memphis.
No, we did beat Memphis. We did beat Memphis one of them games. Then we played them twice.
You split with them?
I thought we did. Hold up. I'll tell you in a second. I could have swore.
Now you making it up. Now you make like, we beat them.
No. Well, we only played them once.
Yeah, man.
And they beat us 117-109. I ain't worried about them. We see them on the 23rd. I ain't worried about them. They coming here.
I mean, we got Brooklyn, we got Denver, we got Boston. Mm-hmm. I mean, actually, the next 20 games don't look hard. Then I'm looking at it from a glance.
And guess what? When we lost to Memphis, we didn't have what's his name? That's during that stretch when both Maxey and Harden was out. So
I mean, I'm looking at
Yeah,
it
December
though.
2nd. We lost to them. Toby had 21, B had 35, Shake had 17. Like this, we lost to them by what 8 points without Harden and without Maxey. I'm good with that.
Now, what I will say, the last 15, 16 games of the season, they look like they're gonna be a challenge. We got Cleveland, we got the Bulls twice, Golden State,
The
Phoenix,
bull,
Denver, Dallas,
the
Toronto,
Bulls.
Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Brooklyn, Atlanta. Those last 15, 16 games of the season is gonna be fun.
And the only team on there that you said that was Brooklyn. And that's if KD is back. And I'm not really worried about them because they don't have
You're not
anybody that
worried
can match
about
up with Embiid.
Boston, Milwaukee, Toronto. We got
Oh no, Boston. No, now Boston, I agree. Boston, they got to show me something against Boston. But we'll see. That was the first game of the season, and Embiid was still coming off an injury. Let's not forget that when everybody was talking about how bad Embiid looked and everything else, and he was coming off of a off season where he was hurt. But now that he done got himself together, he's playing on a different level. So, we'll see.
non-conforming. I agree that we need to rest. I want to be healthy more than anything going into the playoffs. So I don't want him playing because in the back of my mind, I still think he's trying to play to get into that MVP race. That's
I
just the
don't.
way he is. He's a competitor, so I know when you're a competitor, you want to be recognized as being one of the greats. And every competitor, every great player needs that MVP on their resume, and he's been wanting that. So I can't even hate the fact that he won an MVP.
Well,
But
guess what? He don't need to win an MVP. He don't gotta win an MVP because if you get to the finals and they win, more than likely he's gonna be a finals MVP.
ain't
So,
nothing like that league
a
MVP.
finals MVP,
The finals
man.
MVP is cool, but ain't nothing like an MVP of the league. That goes.
He knows he's not going to get a league MVP because they're in love with the European players right now.
But I
He's not
mean,
going to get a league MVP over these European
but he
players.
wants it. He wants it.
But he knows he's not. Remember how he said last year? He was like, "Yeah, last year you could tell he just know it ain't meant for me. I ain't gonna get it."
Yeah, I'm telling you how NBA players, the one of the grand prizes that you can get in a league
No,
is,
Charlie, Boston blew the Sixers out the first game of the season.
yeah, they beat us. That league MVP is so important to players. That to me, they rather, I know they rather win an NBA championship, but that individual accomplishment, like you was the best player in the entire league for the whole year, that's something special.
And the MVP is overrated.
It's not. I'm not in the eyes, especially if you got two MVPs.
But guess what? You know what I think? I think Embiid knows and that's why when you see, like Mastercraft said, Embiid, I think B gonna cook Joker again. And when B go up against Joker, that's when he shows he's not better than me. You may pick him as your MVP, but he's not a better player than me.
Well, you know why B lost the MVP last year, right? It goes back to that Milwaukee game where he let when he lost
No, it
it.
just goes back to the fact that Joker plays every game and Embiid doesn't.
I mean, Joker is nice though. You can't hate on him. He's a great player. I think that's another discussion another day too. But it was just I still think Embiid in the back of his mind wants that MVP, wants to be in that discussion.
Yeah, that's because you just want to think Embiid is still this selfish young boy. To me,
I'm
I
not.
think Embiid is matured.
I believe he
I think he's all about trying to win. He wants to get past that second round of playoffs. He don't want that stigma on him that he can't get a team past the second round. I
Well,
think that's most important to him right now. And the fact that he knows he has Harden right now, and this is the best point guard he's ever had to play with. You got Maxey coming into his own. He has a team that's his team, but it's a good team. So I think that he sees all this and he wants to try to take advantage of this opportunity. I think he knows that if he wins a championship, he solidifies his name, his legacy,
I know absolutely.
especially in Philly. Because in Philly, you win a championship, even you just get to a finals, a championship, you ain't never going to have to pay for Chick-fil-A in Philly again.
All right, y'all. I'm out. Well, this was a good pod. Thanks, all y'all soldiers that lined up and stayed up, watched this game. It was well worth it. But Charlie M, Sergeant Bass, MOTC, X-Men, Nonconformers, all y'all. Steve, Steve, we're gonna get you on the show. I know you've been saying you want to get on the show. We're gonna get you on there. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You got anything else you want to talk? You want to say before we out?
Yeah, when's the Portland game again?
I think it's like 2 days. I think
All right.
on Thursday.
All right. Well, we'll see you then.
All right, y'all. We out.
Peace.